Hey, Big West fans! Joining us on screen is Cal Poly head coach Caroline Walters. Coach, great to have you on. How are you?
I'm great, Chloe. Thanks for having me. Excited to talk about Cal Poly, Big West, all things volleyball.
Exactly. All things volleyball as the season ramps up again. And of course, you all are coming off of one of the most memorable seasons in program history, winning the Big West Championship, advancing to the Sweet 16, and finishing nationally ranked. So, what stands out most about what your group accomplished?
Yeah, I mean, you spoke to so many things that we're proud of, and I think adding to the history and the deep roots that Cal Poly Volleyball has established as being one of those prominent programs on the West Coast over, spanning 2.5 decades. I mean, we look back to the late 90s and just some incredible results. So the results are great, but I think the thing I am most proud of is that we retained all of our student athletes. And in today's day and age, with the transfer portal and revenue share, to be able to do it with the quality of student athletes that we had, I think is pretty remarkable. So excited to take what we had from last year, add some new pieces in, and recreate, that belief that we can, while knowing that there's going to be a much different journey throughout the process and into hopefully late November and early December for us.
Yes, and you talk about those returners. You returned, correct me if I'm wrong, but you returned 13 players from last year's squad. So, who will be the biggest leaders?
As you talk about leaders, I think we have to highlight, the two big guns. And they're not, I guess, big per se in height, but they jump high and they hit that ball hard. So Kendall Bashir and Emma Frederick are going to be the two that will carry the load for us offensively. I mean, they did so last year, both of whom new to a six rotation role for us, but obviously stepped in, learned a lot of lessons along the way, and accomplished some great things. So just with what they do from being on the court for six rotations, and like I mentioned, like the pace that they put on the ball, and then for Kendall, everyone's going to remember that jump spin serve and how much that affects a match. So yeah, a lot of our newbies and even returners' eyes are going to those two. We lose the position that typically will be that leader on the court for you in the setter. So that's something, that we're definitely trying to identify, and we play a lot of different games in here with a lot of different people rotating through. And what does that look like, not only on the court but also off the court? Chloe Lelouge will be another great leader for us, and then there's just the stalwart of our defense. Ayla Fariette is someone that has a loud voice, has definitely climbed to the top of being the most vocal of all of the returners in terms of her leadership.
Lots of pieces being put together for another year, and you do hold that title of being Big West defending champions. So, could you let the viewers in on the types of conversations you're having with the team about maintaining focus this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is just we're not trying to recreate anything that happened. Any pressure that we're feeling is stuff that we're putting on ourselves, and we're trying not to. We really are not talking about last year. We're not talking about a standard of returning to a Sweet 16. We're talking about getting better each day, not even each day, each session that we're in the gym, with the goal that we're playing our best volleyball, like I said, by late November, early December. And that's what we've been preaching for a few years here. So to see that really come to light last year, and the belief, and really our kids buying in. I mean, I remember our last match of regular season play last year, we lost to Irvine, and you need like a little reset to get into that Big West tournament. But towards the end, in those last four matches, we were playing our best volleyball, in that 3 week stretch. So it's really narrowing the focus for us day by day of like, how can we just get a little better? And we train very game like here. We play a lot of 6-on-6. It can be ugly at times. So really right now it's how do we clean up each session that we get to compete in the gym, and how do we get a little bit more efficient with what we're doing. So we keep a lot of numbers. We try to be really good about our video feedback and watching that back and making comments. And it's been fun to see them continue to want to learn. You could worry about that with a group that had as much success as we did last year, but I think it's nice to have competition in positions. We have a kid that has been playing beach and indoor at Cal Poly for us named Kayla Murdoch that transitioned just to indoor in January. So she's been with us now, almost a full 8 months, and it's been great for her game, and for Kendall and Emma to have her, attacking balls and just ready to get on the court. And hopefully she'll be on the right for us along with Avea Stone, and there's competition in that position. And then in the middle position, we returned Brecklin Pulling, who was a 2024 All Big West player that came in and tore her ACL going into last preseason. And we're now almost 365 days from that, and she's physically back in the gym playing sixes. So even competition in a position, that that had standout middles last year, to be able to have good depth in every position has been really, really exciting for us as well.
Well, you bring up preparation and competition. And so your schedule, your non-conference schedule, features 7 NCAA tournament teams, 5 conference champions, and the defending national champion. So what was the philosophy behind creating such a challenging schedule?
Yeah, historically, we want to play tough in the preseason. We want to go in and test ourselves early and learn lessons that maybe you don't learn, through winning a lot of matches in preseason. Not that we expect to lose, we expect to go in and compete, but we want to challenge our kids with the best of the best, and we did that last year. We started out at Minnesota, and I think back to last year, and I thought that was one of the best first sets we've played in my 17 prior seasons, and it really set the tone. And we didn't win that match, but the excitement surrounding, like, being able to compete and play with a team of that caliber, I think set the tone for the rest of the season. So we know what we're up against going into Texas A&M weekend one, and playing the national champion from last year. But it's exciting. We bring Stanford and ASU into Mott, and we're going in with the nation's longest winning streak. So we'll see if we can get some luck surrounding that. But we want to play good teams. We want to play them early. Again, we want to test ourselves and see what lessons we can learn to get back in here, Monday through Thursday, and try to fine tune things so that next weekend we're a little bit better. And like I said, hopefully with all of those lessons stacked up, we're playing our best volleyball towards the end of the season.
The team knows how to do that, especially inside Mott Athletic Center, as you mentioned. It's become known as Mott Magic. Like you said, the team is going in on the season on a 19-match home winning streak, currently the longest active home win streak in NCAA Division I. So what is it about playing at home that has allowed the team to perform at a high and consistent level?
Well, right now it's hot in here, so that might have something to do with it. No, it's just such a familiar place, and for us, we talk about Mott Magic throughout the course of seasons, especially last year, and but it came with us to USC, and we say that Mott Magic isn't really a place; it's the people, and it's our community. We have a great band that comes to every match, and I think that's just such a unique environment. And the fans, and it's people on campus, it's students, but really through what our beach volleyball team has done through, being in the Final Four and the Sweet 16 of their own tournament for the last few years, it's a volleyball town, and these people love their volleyball. So, I'm expecting great turnouts, not only for the Stanford ASU Santa Clara weekend, but through all of Big West play. And then, we couldn't be more excited to host this Big West tournament down here Thanksgiving weekend. So just excited to continue building that community support, and hopefully see some really full stands late in November.
Yes, well, that was my closing question for you. Of course, this season, the Big West Championship comes to Mott Athletic Center. Can you talk a little bit more about what it means for your program and your community to host the conference's biggest event?
Yeah, it's our first Thanksgiving home in quite a while, and we're grateful for that, but also grateful to my administration for deciding, to put a bid in. And it takes a lot of work, and being on the early side of some of those back meetings, it's going to take a lot of people giving up, their well-earned vacation time and holiday time. And it's not lost on me and my players that is something that this takes. So we're very thankful that our school has decided to do that. And I think it comes at a really good time for us and our program. We're excited to compete in the regular season, but even more excited for those few matches as the tournament comes. And like I said, this town loves their volleyball. So I'm hoping that we're going to see no empty seats in Mott when Cal Poly is playing in that late November tournament. And I self-admittedly was not a big fan of this Big West tournament as we were voting on it, but it has worked out really well for us in the last few seasons. And also, we felt the other side of that in 2024 with some injuries late. So I know how things can flip at the turn of a key too. So we're just grateful, hopefully, to remain healthy and put our best foot forward. The depth in each position will definitely help us this year, and excited to see what we can't do as this season progresses.
Definitely looking forward to that Mott Magic come November. But I'll leave on one final statement. If you could fill in the blank, just repeat and finish the sentence. Cal Poly volleyball this season will be blank.
Yeah, family, and I think we say it a lot, but in the off season, my wife and I had our third baby. She's a month old today, actually. My assistant got married. I was able to bring back my other assistant, who was my former boss here at Cal Poly, that I learned everything from. So I sit here going into season 18 just feeling like it's a big family and everything's coming full circle, and to be surrounded by such an amazing staff and some incredible volleyball players. We're excited to do it together this year.
Well, congratulations on the new addition, and definitely looking forward to seeing how you and the squad compete this season. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chloe.